today we are having next topic, that is paging. Okay, paging is very good concept which comes under the non-contiguous memory allocation scheme. If you remember the memory allocation categories or the dividation what we have done in the earlier video, I will show you the category or we can say memory allocation scheme what we learned in the previous video, that is the memory management technique or allocation scheme. So for multi-program, because we are working on the multi-programming so in multi-programming techniques we were having contiguous and non-contiguous allocation. Okay, if you remember, then in the contiguous allocation we have done the fixed partitioning scheme and variable partitioning scheme, that is multi-programming with fixed number of tasks or with variable number of tasks, that we have already seen. Okay, and then afterward in the non-contiguous allocation, the rough idea behind this contiguous allocation and non-contiguous allocation was like all the processes which comes for execution will be placed in the contiguous manner. Okay, it means one after another. Okay, so after that in non-contiguous allocation the processes can be placed anywhere. Okay, and the processes can be it is not necessary to place the process at one after another. Okay, so that the manner is called as the non-contiguous allocation. Okay, so now we are going to focus on the non-contiguous allocation. Okay, before starting the non-contiguous allocation, that is we are having two alternatives that is paging and segmentation. Now what is this paging and segmentation? The requirement of this paging and segmentation is arrived, we'll see. Okay, as you know that in static partitioning, again we will recall a few things. In static partitioning we have equal size partitioning scheme and we have unequal size partitioning scheme, and then after that we have seen in the static partitioning we got the internal fragmentation internal fragmentation issue. Okay, the memory is allocated to the process and the remaining memory is got wasted. So that is the internal fragmentation problem we have seen. In dynamic partitioning we have got the another problem, that is external fragmentation. Okay, those are called as holes. Okay, so after allocation the remaining memory becomes the holes. Okay, so those external fragmentation. So for managing those things we have introduced memory placement strategies. Okay, so memory placement strategies we are having first fit, best fit and worst fit. So during these so with the help of these strategies we can easily assign the memory. Okay, so the best fit algorithm or the best fit strategy was good because it find the smallest hole and then it will fill. Okay, so we have seen the example of this also. And for the external fragmentation, we have seen the solution also, that is compaction. Okay, so what is the solution? What was the solution? This is the solution. If you see, we are having processes at the different locations, that is P1 at over here, P2 over here and P3 over here. Okay, the free memories are placed or free memory is there and in the middle of two processes. Okay, so what we have done the compaction and we have shuffled all the processes at the one end of the memory and all the free memory at the another end. Okay, so this is the compaction which is possible to avoid or to prevent the external fragmentation. Okay, so external fragmentation can be the solution for the external fragmentation is the compaction. Okay, now we'll come to the topic now. The topic is that paging. Okay, why paging is required now? We have one more solution for the external fragmentation. Okay, we have one more solution, another possible solution for external fragmentation. Okay, solution for external fragmentation was compaction. Okay, it was the one solution. Okay, we have one more solution, that is the what we can do, we can permit the logical address space of the processes to be non-contiguous. Okay, we will allow from our side that process is coming for execution will be placed anywhere. Okay, let the process be placed anywhere in the memory. So this paging comes under the non-contiguous allocation. If you remember, the paging and the segmentation comes under the non-contiguous allocation. If you remember, I will show you once again. This paging and segmentation comes in the non-contiguous allocation. Okay, so it means that we have to permit the processes to be placed in the memory at non-contiguous location. So process 1 comes, so we have placed process 1 over here. Process 2, so if the memory is not available over here, then we will place memory process 2 over here. Okay, if the memory is not placed over here, then process 3 will be placed at this location. Okay, so this so we have to permit the logical address space of the processes to be non-contiguous. Okay, non-contiguous means not one after another, it may be placed anywhere. Okay, thus allowing a process to be allocated physical memory whenever such memory is available. So memory is placed at some location, so you can simply allocate the process at that particular location. Okay, so we have two complementary techniques, we can say complementary techniques. One is paging and second is segmentation. Okay, now what is the concept behind paging? Let us understand what is this paging is doing. Okay, according to the paging permit physical address space of the process to be non-contiguous. Okay, starting with the first point, it permit the physical address space of the process, permit physical address space of processes to be non-contiguous. Okay, so what the idea is in the paging, what is the idea behind paging is that we are going to divide the main memory also, and we are going to divide the process also. Okay, how we are going to divide, just try to understand. Okay, so this is the memory. Okay, say this is the memory. Okay, this is the main memory. Okay, this is the main memory. So what I am going to do, so this main memory, I am going to divide this main memory into small size of equal size chunks. Okay, so I am going to divide this main memory into equal size of chunks. Okay, so I have divided 1 chunk, 2 chunk, 3 chunks, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11. Okay, so total 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Okay, so total 11 chunks are there. Okay, so these 11 chunks are for the of the memory, that is main memory. Okay, now my main memory is in this situation. Okay, now the second idea, first I will write divide the main memory into equal fixed size chunk, and these chunks are called as frames. Okay, so these chunks are called as frames. Now the question is for process. We have first process, that is process 1. Okay, process 1 comes over here for execution. So I'm going to divide the process into 4 chunks. Okay, I'm going to divide the process into small fixed size chunks of the same size. Okay, so I will divide my process 1 into a small size chunk, that is for example my process A, say process A, this is the process A. So A0, A1, A2, A3. So it was possible for me to divide the process into 4 chunks. Okay, so I will say divide the process into a small fixed size chunk, into small fixed size chunks, and these chunks are called as pages. These chunks are called as pages. Okay, so these are the pages and these are the frames. Okay, now I'm just repeating the things again because I took time for writing the things. Okay, so what I've done, I have divided my main memory. Okay, I've divided my main memory into small equal size chunks. Okay, so small partitions I have done, and these chunks are called as frames. Okay, I will call each of this chunk as a frame. So this is my frame 1, 2, so frame 0, frame 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. Okay, for all the processes who will come for the execution. So let us say this is process A. So process A come for execution, so I have divided into a small chunk. Okay, and this chunk will be called as the pages. Okay, so this is page 0, page 1, page 2, page 3. Okay, so what I have done, I have divided main memory into small chunks called as the frames. I have divided processes into small chunks called as the pages. Okay, now we'll see one example. Okay, from this example you will easily understand the concept of paging. Okay, let us take one example. Say the same example we'll take. So this is my main memory. Okay, I've divided the main memory into number of chunks called as the frames. Okay, so divided 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so total 9. It means I have total 10 frames. Okay, I have total 10 frames. So I will write these are the 10 frames. Okay, now process 1 arrives. Okay, so process 1, say process A arrived. Okay, so when process A arrives, so I have divided the process A into four say you can say 4 pages. Okay, so the process A is divided into 4 pages. So I will draw another diagram. So again this is like I need to draw this diagram for each and every time. Okay, so the numbers are same. Okay, so I have process A. Okay, this diagram is for process A. Okay, so process A is having 4 pages. Okay, so I have written like 4. So process A, so process A0, A1, A2, A3. Okay, so these 4 pages of a process A are placed at 0, 1, 2, 3 location. Okay, so this is done for the process A. Okay, now we'll move ahead. Okay, process B now come. Process B is having 3 pages. Okay, so we'll draw another diagram. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 से. ठीक है, so 0, 1, 2, 3. So these are already assigned to process A. Now where the process B will go, I will write A0, A1, A2 and A3. Now where the process B will go, process will be go at this location B0, B1, B2, because we know that we have divided the process B into 3 pages. Okay, so 4, 5, 6. Okay, so 4, 5, 6. Now imagine the third process come, that is process C. Okay, process C comes with say 4 process C having 4 pages. Okay, imagine. Okay, so again we'll draw the diagram and we'll understand how the paging is done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How many? I don't know. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 9 and 10. Okay, so I need only 9. So this is not okay. So A0 was already assigned, A1 was already assigned, A2, A3, B0, B1, B2. Now I am saying that the process C is arriving. Process C is having 4 pages. Okay, so I will give process C. So C0, C1, C2. Okay, I need to consider more pages actually because say process C is having only 2. Okay, process C is having only 2 pages. So this is done. Okay, C0, C1. Okay, now if this is C0 and C1, So instead of considering more frame, I am reducing the size of the pages. Okay, so C is having only 2 pages, imagine. Okay, so this is the C is done now. Okay, so 3 processes has done. Okay, now after some time what will happen, process B has completed its execution. Process B has completed its execution. So what we will do, or anything can be done. Process B has gone for some IO operation. Okay, process B has gone for some IO operation, or it has done, suppose. Okay, so next diagram we will draw like this: 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Okay, whatever the numbers are not equal, 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Okay, so process B, okay, process B is done now. Process B is swapped out. If the process B is swapped out, then the diagram will be like that: A0, A1, A2, A3, B0, B1, B2, because they have completed the execution and they have gone. So C0 and C1. So now this space is remaining. So this 1 2 3 are remaining. Okay, now suppose another process, a new process comes over here, that is process D. Okay, process D. Okay, this is not 6 7 8 9. Okay, so this is 6 7 8 9. So this is not here, this is not, you should not consider it. Okay, done. So process D has arrived. Process D is having 4 pages. Okay, so process D has been divided into 4 pages. Okay, so what will be the next diagram? Just look at the diagram. The diagram is very important. So in paging, how we are doing: 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. So 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Now this diagram is okay. Okay, and we already know that A0, A1, A2, A3 are already placed. Okay, C0 and C1 are already placed. Okay, now we have to accommodate, now we have to place process D, the 4 pages of process D inside this memory. Okay, so how we'll do? We can, because we have already told that the solution for external fragmentation is the paging. Okay, paging and segmentation. So we have to permit the physical address space of the processes, to be non-contiguous. Okay, so it is possible that 1 2 3 pages of the process D will be over here, and one page will be at this location. So I will allocate D0, D1, D2. Okay, so we have permitted the physical address of the process, to be non-contiguous. So D0, D1, D2 I have allocated over here, and D3 I have allocated over here. Okay, so this is how the things are done, and the processes are placed inside the memory using paging technique. Okay, so I'm just revising this thing again. So it was the initial situation where we were having no frames. Okay, and the concept is that we have to divide the main memory into number of chunks called as frames. Okay, and the process ko bhi divide karna hai. We have to divide the process into number of chunks, small size, equal size chunk called as the pages. Okay, so in the first diagram you will find that we don't have any processes over here. Okay, so all the frames are empty. In the next diagram you will find that we have process A arrived with and we have divided the process A into 4 chunks. Okay, so these 4 pages I will call the chunks of these processes as a pages. Okay, so the 4 pages are placed like this: A0, A1, A2 and A3. Okay, next B2 with 3 pages arrive, so B0, B1, B2. Okay, so we have already shown. Then process C arrived. Process C were having only 2 pages, so C0, C1 we have displayed. Okay, then process B has completed its execution, so it will be swapped out. Okay, so B0, B1, B2, so we have swapped out. So now the space is available. So 4, 5, 6 space is available and 9 space is available with us. Okay, now the new process arrived with 4 pages. So we have done the D0, D1, D2 placed over here and D3 over here. Okay, because we have permitted the physical address space of the process to be non-contiguous. Okay, one more concept along with this is that the page table. Okay, the page table is the data structure. Now we'll draw the page table for all the processes. Okay, so for process A, process B, process C and process D. Okay, so what is page table? Page table. Okay, the page table is the data structure used by virtual memory system in a computer operating system to store the mapping between virtual address and the physical address. Okay, so this is basically the mapping of virtual address and the physical address. Okay, let me draw the page table of process A. The page table of process A will be like that. Okay, so we are having total 4 chunks. Okay, so A0, we can say simply 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, at the location 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so these are just indexing. Okay, so 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we have drawn the page table for process A. Now we'll understand the page table for process B. Okay, in process B, how many pages are there? We have 3 pages. Okay, so we have drawn 1, 2, 3. Okay, the indexing is 0, 1, 2. But from where the paging pages of the process B are 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I will write 4, 5, 6. Okay, so this is the page table for process B. Now you will easily tell me what is the the page table for process C. So we have only 2 pages of process. We have only 2 pages of process C. So I will write 7 and 8. Okay, you can easily say this is so this is 7 and 8 because C is at 7 and 8. Okay, 7, 8. Indexing is 0 and 1. Now what about process D? For process D we are having 4. So I've drawn 4. Okay, indexing 0, 1, 2, 3. And where the process D is 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6 and last is 9. Okay, 9. So this is the page table. So basically your page table is used to map between virtual addresses and physical address. Okay, mapping between virtual address and physical address. Virtual address and physical address. Okay, this is the mapping between virtual address. So page table is used for mapping between virtual address and physical address.